Jürgen, through the last game of pre-season, season obviously starts next week. Just ask Pep the question on your comments about player welfare. We're getting into a situation now where in years to come we're going to be playing 12 months a year football. How difficult is that for a manager? And what are your thoughts on players being able to have a proper end of season break to come back fresh?
I thought I said everything about that already, but having more breaks, having periods without games is not important for us manager. It's not like that. So I have enough time for everything. I don't work physically, really. That's all good. It's not about the amount of hours you work. That it's a physical work what the boys are doing. And on top, it's contact sport. Means each little, the things we cannot judge before, but medicine and sports science is not that far, that they tell us about a player's in danger before he is in danger. And a lot of injuries happen in the moment when a player becomes tired and the body doesn't react as the body should react in that moment. And that's a problem. So how can we make sure that that the boys have this time? And people will say, make the squad bigger. That's just not possible, because football is about a team building, and you cannot tell the players, yes, we have now 4 weeks off and we play with the other 20. That's a completely different situation. It's a lot. If we only bring 11 players together, let them play. Without that kind of belief that being a better group than maybe the other team can help you win the next game, even if they are stronger. That just doesn't work. We cannot do it like this. In the biggest sports, I would say, in America, they have all these. They play a lot of games like hockey in America, whatever, and all this stuff. But they have really long breaks then. And it's not again. That's how it is. You can play a long period, but then there should be a break. And I think people should start being a bit concerned about it, because it became more and more and more. And the difference to the good old days is the pressure from everywhere on the boys is it's completely different. And the game, and that's even more important, the game became much quicker than it used to be. And so all what you do with speed makes you a bit more or easier to affect from any influence from outside. So each challenge is difficult. That's one thing. The other thing is, and yes, the clubs have to think as well. It's not only the FA and stuff like this. We all have to think about it. So I don't blame anybody to change it. But it's about having a proper preseason, because again, each sportsman in the world needs preparation. If you are Olympic, you go for Olympic Games and you have not preparation, but you don't have to go there. But it's only one big event, and maybe 2 weeks in recovery, and then you start again training and all these things. And for us, it's always, we have these highlights every 3 days, the top teams. Then, I know we come to the point which I spoke about in the past, when everybody was so happy about the Nations League. It's just that then you come because they play that because they want to make the years without European Cup or European Championship or World Cup more interesting. Who needs more interesting competitions in world football? That's just not necessary. So we have enough interest. And if people, maybe some people out there, you or whoever, if you would miss football for 3-4 weeks a year and think, wow, it would be nice if there could be a game. That would not, then we don't die because of that. It's not a week without football I cannot survive. It would help a lot of relationships at home probably, that you don't watch every second day any important game. So that's it. And the importance that we have to play the games because the money is there. We need to, yes, we earn the money, that's true, but we need the money as well to keep it going. We need the money to keep the quality on highest level. It doesn't work differently. So we have to think, how can we keep the players in the best competition in the best physical situation. And it's really like this. If you give all of us a 6-week period for pre-season, we all change football. Because then we play 3 different systems, then we do this. That's what makes it all more exciting here, because then we have time for doing it. So now we have a very short period with all players together. With this team who played here today out there, we played really well. We will talk about that afterwards as well, but we had exactly 5 days training. with exactly that group. So, and now if you involve new players and stuff like this, what we didn't do this year so far, so it means that that's even more difficult. So that's the situation. But then, again, the pressure is there, and they say, okay, then rotate. But we cannot only rotate for rotation. We have to win football games, and we have to bring our best players on the pitch, and we cannot say, yeah, today it's not so important. And it's Premier League. Wherever you go, it's a proper fight, and good. It's good so like this. It's really good like this. That's what makes the Premier League so exciting. But on the other side, the jewels we deal with are the players. So I don't need 1 week more off a year, but the players need it. In the long term especially, that's how it is. And we have to make sure that the guys who decide about these things, that they get more and more sensitive. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's talking about it, but I still will. Yeah, okay, but that's because and it's not about us, once again. And we ask our players for so much. Well, we look like outside on the sideline when they are tired and stuff like this. So we used to tell them, go again. We don't pack them like in soft cotton or whatever and say, oh, it's all good. So they deliver day in and day out. And it's a different job to do than any other job because it's constantly physically. And if you train 4 hours a day, what the boys have even when they train only once a day, it's exactly the time we are then training, because we have different things to do, then it's exactly as you cannot train 8 hours a day. It's just not possible. As much as people want us to do that, it's not possible. Human beings are not made for that. Yes, there are different sports, like swimming, where they train in the morning before they go to university, like 2 hours and they go back. There's no contact. If they are there, they don't have contact. If they are in a down period, they don't face any other swimmer and get a knock from him. It's just different. There are more intense lifestyles, let me say like this, for in different sports where they don't earn that much money. That's all true. But the game is like it is. The game is like it is. And we have just to make sure that the boys are always in the best way prepared. And we try everything. We try absolutely everything to make sure that that's the case. But obviously a bit of help would not be a big problem.
Jürgen, on today's game, what was your view on it generally, and also in particular for your team, in terms of preparation, the way you came back so strong in the second half and dominated? Is that a good indication?
Absolutely. Completely happy about it. Completely happy about the full performance. I said before the game, if you want to be prepared for Man City, you have to make a preseason game against Man City. Otherwise, you can't. No team plays like them. That's how it is. So, and you saw that in a few moments in the first half. When they can do what they do, we struggle a little bit positioning-wise, but that's normal. So the biggest threat were pretty much the long balls from Bravo in behind, where our last line was not aligned. So with the first 2 balls, I think. The third ball was dangerous as well, with Sané on the other side, or was always Sané, I think. So that makes it difficult, but that's how they stretch our formation, and then when you expect these balls and they play it in between, and in the half spaces, so that's pretty tricky. We could have had a bit better positioning, I said. We changed it for the second half, it helped us a lot, and then second half, of course, it's about will and all that stuff, and that's another thing in pre-season. You fill your body with all these physical informations, but you are not used to it after 4 or 5 weeks that you really can go over that point. And we went over that point today, and then we were really, nobody felt tired anymore. Then they could really go, and I like that a lot. And football-wise, second half was just really, really good. Best way you can play against City. They are in early stages as well. That's how it is. They will be in a different shape in a couple of weeks for sure. But having this, the amount of chances we had today is a very good sign for us, absolutely. I like the game, I don't like the result, but I like the game a lot, and so for us it was today very, very important.
Yes, Jürgen, obviously after success at the end of last season, has there been, in terms of hungry your players, are you still impressed that every day in the pre-season and the season, the hungry desire is there to, win even more trophies?
We will try everything. I think the best is not as important, not that much important what I could say. But what the boys showed today, I thought they looked pretty hungry. So it doesn't mean that it will work out then. But before today, after all the things that were said about the competition, both teams wanted to win it desperately. I saw that, and I'm fine with that. My team is not in doubt about being satisfied. Everyone stop working, stop running. The character of the team is still incredibly good. We had a difficult preseason, but the boys did what they had to do and were affected by it. And then we played football games against really good teams, and that didn't feel too good. So it was very important that we had this, that we all gave ourselves and our supporters as well a sign of the performance today. And now let's carry on.
And before the game, there's been a focus on the fact that Liverpool fans booed the national anthem. Do you see that as, do you hear it? Do you think it's disrespectful?
I don't think that I'm the right person to speak about it, but I know a little bit about the history. Actually, I know a lot about the history of the club, but it's not about me to judge that. But I think, wow, I know the Liverpool supporters, they are outstandingly respectful, and if they should give that sign, then it might be, the reason for that might be a bit in the past. I would guess, but I have nothing else to say about that.
Chris, James
I would say yes, it was a minor muscle injury, but yeah, I would say probably he can train tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure about the day. It was not it didn't work out, but yeah, at least Tuesday he can train.
One question.
You are not happy that you were scheduled to play on Friday, but on the other hand, you have to take Saturday compared to Chelsea before the Super Cup.
The weather there is really difficult for a football manager. The question was, I was completely happy with the Friday game. I didn't think a second about it until somebody asked me about it. He asked me if I think it's a good idea that we play the Friday game as I would. And I was honest, and that's a problem in Israel. I said, oh, if you ask me, I would have preferred to play Saturday or Sunday because Sadio Mane is coming back on Monday. We had the last game of the season. I was not a second angry or was moaning or whatever. The problem is only that you can do with my answers whatever you want and nobody criticize you. Because the headline is out there, and until somebody could be really worried about it, it's already forgotten. I'm fine with Friday, and I'm fine with the time we have until Chelsea. Am I overly happy that we then have only 3 days against Southampton game? No, but it's a situation, and I cannot change it. I don't even think about it. That's how it is. So we come back from Istanbul and play on Saturday, I think. Saturday or Sunday, I don't even know. Saturday, look. We play against Southampton. All these games will be incredibly difficult, but it's our schedule, and we never moaned about a schedule. It's just ask me questions, you get an answer, and obviously you can make with the answer whatever you want. And then ask me again about the headline somebody else created. Yeah, it's not always the pure joy.
Thanks, guys.